Welcome to Geraldine's Super Secret Author Vlog. We're going to be working on Kanban Board Reset today, and this is now my second time to reset it, and this will be going into my third quarter, although I don't know if the second quarter counts because I ended up getting behind and didn't reset my first quarter 2021 Kanban board till right before March, when I basically had 1 month left. Like Sarah Cannon and her Heart Breathings YouTube channel, which I love and follow, I follow her basic system of doing the 90-day goals and projects with the Kanban board. So my first 90-day was last fall, and it was totally changed my life. It was amazing. And then my second 90 days was first quarter of 2021. And just like her, I got behind in even starting it. And so I learned something really interesting, which is that there are seasons of the year. And when you're doing a 90-day setup like this, it's helping me to notice that there are some seasons where I have a whole lot more energy and other seasons where I have a whole lot less energy. And that's going to determine what I get done, how much I get done, all this sort of thing. So like in the fall, I tend to have really good energy. So when I did my first 90 days back in the fall, I did really well. I didn't reach every single goal, but it was very ambitious too. And then the second one, I knew I only had about a month, so I tried to keep it not too ambitious, but you can see there was still quite a bit up there to get done in 1 month. But then I noticed that through the winter months, which included this year, January and February, and at least part of March, where there's a lot of snow and cold weather, all this sort of thing, I sort of like going into a hibernation mode, plus you had the holidays and company. It's just generally was like a less productive time, or I consider it more of a quiet time. It seems like that time of year is more about recharging my batteries, resetting, spending time nurturing myself, doing quiet activities like reading and learning and research. Like I'm starting to research the second book in my debut novel series, Encyclopedia Magica series. So like, it seems like sometimes of the year are better suited for those quiet activities that are more inward, and then now it's almost at the very end of March and my energy is like picking up. I can feel it. And this happens every single year. Every year in the spring, it gets real strong. And then when it gets really hot in the middle of summer, I notice it just like disappears. And then in the fall, it gets real strong again. And in the really cold months of the winter, it kind of disappears. So I've noticed through the years this up and down generally of my energy with the seasons. And so I got to start taking advantage of that and like planning ahead for it. So I think with the Kanban board, I should always remember that in the winter seasons, like January and February especially, to just not plan to do very much and have it be more quiet activities. And I'll have to plan ahead for the summer, like there's something about when the super hot weather hits in the middle of July or whatever, I just suddenly don't want to do anything but lay in a hammock and read a book. I don't know what it is about that. And we even live in Colorado. It doesn't get all that hot here, and it's always cool at night, almost always, even through the summer. And so I don't know if it has to do with temperature or not, but maybe, I don't know. So that was an interesting thing to learn, was that October Kanban board, I was really on top of things. I got so much done. And then this last one, I just feel like my motivation wasn't there as much, and it just was not the same experience. I still love the Kanban board, and it still has totally changed my life, and it still has upped my productivity by a lot. But I'm paying attention to the seasons, and I'm going to incorporate that into my goals. So speaking of which, I'm going to reset it. I'm actually on time. It is March 29th, so I'm actually a few days early, but I have good energy today, so I thought this would be a good day to reset the Kanban board right behind me. So another thing I've observed is that I wanted to try drop shipping as a passive income source because I'd learned about it, and so it sounded like it was simple enough to give it a shot without too much time and effort and see if it could kind of just be passive income. But for 2 whole quarters in a row now, these tasks to work on that has been sitting up there in the to-do, and I have not gotten to it. And I just finally realized this is not that important to me. I have so many other priorities with being an author that is just way more important than that. And even though I have spent a little bit of time on it, I kept running into obstacles. It was taking more time than I expected. And I just decided I need to make a decision if am I going to do this or not. I had only those 2 things in that middle column, and I still didn't get them done. And so I realized I just don't want to do them. There's too much resistance. I'm just not interested in pursuing that, I want to pour all my focus on being an author. So I've basically decided I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to get rid of those sticky notes and not worry about that anymore. Now that I don't really have any more passive income goals, which would be the second column, because I've done them, the most important ones like investing, and that's all like running on its own, scheduling now and everything. So now this is still my writing, my stuff as an author, my writing and, you know, getting things published and revising all that stuff. I'm now putting this back into my travel category, and I ran out of those yellow stickers, so there's some orange. But so this is now, I had travel with my personal, but I have so many personal projects I want to do, like sewing and knitting and stuff. I decided to put travel back as its own. And so I'm planning to do something kind of funny this summer. I've been following the tiny house movement, and then I started following van lifers, and I used to want a medieval tiny house, but I've realized the van life is better because you just have one vehicle, you're not towing anything, right? And so my goal is eventually to do some sort of a van conversion, or it might not be a van, it might be a schoolie, or one of my favorites was a box ambulance. That one was like the best. So anyway, at some point I'm going to do that. But one of the pieces of advice I got from those people who are living like that, they say, like, even when you buy your van, don't convert it immediately. Like, go camping in it right away and start getting a feel for what it is you are going to want ahead of time, right? And so then someone else said, don't wait, just get out there and start camping in whatever vehicle you have and just give it a shot and start living the life and figuring it out. So I do have a young friend of mine who was already planning to do that this summer, and I asked if I could join her. And so we actually have just a Ford Escape. It's not a lot of room, but we're gonna do some experimenting and try car camping, mainly so I don't have to mess with setting up a tent. And then, you know, a tent is not safe against bears, and we have bear activities in Colorado, and bears have been known to rip through somebody's tent before, so it's just safer. I've always looked down on people camping in their cars, actually, but this is a strategy to prepare for eventual having my own build. So I have some ideas of some sewing and some projects I want to do ahead of time to get ready for that. I'm thinking about maybe even making like a simple bucket composting toilet. I have the Humanure handbook, which I have yet to read, but you know, last year when we went camping, there's lots of cool free camping places, but there's no bathrooms. And I don't mind going to the bathroom in nature, but it's very difficult to do in some campgrounds we were at. There was nowhere to go where you were not in view of everybody. And so having some sort of bathroom situation would have been good, because then we would have done it would have been so much easier. So I may consider that. I just don't know if I'll have the time and energy to put all that together and to make like a privacy tent or different things like that. But for sure, I have some mattress like foam pieces that we've had since the kids were little that you can form into a twin size bed, but there's some that are narrow and some that are like a square. So my thought was I'd actually like to make a fabric cover for them. It's like outdoor fabric, and try to make it in such a way that it can fold into a couch configuration and then fold into like a single mattress configuration. So my first project is to try to get that done by the summer so I can sleep on that and use it as the couch configuration, and try car camping in the mountains this summer. Just give it a shot. I don't know how it's going to turn out. We will see. So that is in my travel category, to work on that. So sometimes I like to look at my year in advance. I guess a lot of people do this, but I still, the first 3 months of the year are already gone, so this is the rest of the months. There are certain things that need to happen in certain months, like NaNoWriMo, Camp NaNoWriMo comes around in April and July, and then National Novel Writing Month is in November, so I actually want to plan ahead to do all those activities this year. Plus I have my first Harry Potter convention in October, LeakyCon. It's coming to Denver, got put off a year because of COVID, and that will be exciting. So I have different things, and some of these I won't know till a little bit later depending how things develop, but it's kind of fun to like set major goals for each month of the year, and then I can incorporate these into the Kanban system. Okay, so I have this set up. I'm gonna have to actually buy sticky notes next time I'm running out. I do expect to have really good energy this next quarter, and it would be nice if I actually got all these things done. Though on the personal side and on the travel side, there's a lot of sewing, and I do like sewing sometimes, but other times I don't like it. So I don't know if I'll get all that sewing done. I haven't yet so far gotten what I was expecting to get done by now, but we will see. It's not the most important thing in the world. It would be nice to, for once, actually get all those things done within a quarter without putting practically nothing on there. And sometimes during the quarter, you end up adding more things. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I have Camp NaNoWriMo in April, so that'll keep me busy. That's National Novel Writing Month. It's a virtual thing. And I do like to take advantage of their tools. It's really good to have a structure like that when you need help finishing writing or revising or editing or whatever, working with your books. It's really great to use those groups and that bit of structure to help you get stuff done. So yeah, I do plan to participate in Camp NaNoWriMo this April and this July, and then in National Novel Writing Month in November, which is specifically for writing 50,000 words in 1 month. So I would like to be writing my second novel in my debut series, Encyclopedia Magica, for National Novel Writing Month. So my plan is to be preparing leading up to that with all the research I need to do in the plotting and all that sort of thing. So we'll see.